it's Jay with We Are Here to Love, and I am coming with the first kind of challenge, encouragement video of 2018. It is so good to be back on. I have not seen you all in a while, and so I'm just so grateful for the opportunity to share with you. So what we're talking about today is giving attention to our daily words, giving attention to the language that we use on a regular basis. I always encourage you all to, say your affirmations throughout the day, throughout the week, setting your intentions, repeating some quotes that you enjoy, that encourage you, studying and repeating scriptures that will encourage you and set you on the right path for your life. All of those things are important, and we do those and we add them to our lives, and that's amazing. That's wonderful. But sometimes we are saying these affirmations and these positive things, but we still have negative linguistic patterns that we are using in our lives. And so what I'd like for us to do for the rest of January is to address some of those things, to really heighten our awareness to the things that we are saying that might be calling negative experiences, negative emotions into our world. So an example that I'm going to give you that I have done for a while is the phrase, "they make me sick." He makes me sick. She makes me sick. Okay, sometimes you got to grab the air with it. So people make me sick, right? And that is a phrase that I would use for a while in response to feeling irritated or feeling angry with something that happened or something someone did or a way that they acted. And what was that doing for me? That was calling sickness into my life. And so what I began to experience was sickness. I began to experience a lot of autoimmune symptoms, a lot of chronic pain, a lot of chronic fatigue. And I remember having a conversation with my mom where I was like, "They just make me sick." And she was like, "What? Why did you just say that?" Like, no, ma'am, we're not going to talk like that. And from that moment forward, I became more aware of how I was saying this. And, sometimes that thought will come into my mind when something happens, and I immediately stop that thought. And so that's what we want to focus on. Some of those things that we are saying that call negativity into our lives, that can call negative experiences into our lives. Again, I would say they make me sick, and I would literally begin to get sick. And so what I had to do was change the things that I was saying. I also had to change my experiences. The truth of the matter was some people just could not be in my life because they did bring a certain energy with them, right? But I was also calling that into my life by what I was saying. Another example that I don't really know, I don't know who made this popular, when, I don't know. Now, I know that for a while I would say, "I'm dying laughing," right? But it has progressed from dying laughing to people saying, "I'm dead," "I died." We got the coffin emojis. We got the skull emojis. Like, we got the people just laying out emojis and to express something funny. And so we're taking this not funny thing to express something that was funny, which to me is wow. So it's not that, people are actively calling that experience of death into their lives, but we're saying that, we are bringing that into our space when we say that phrase. And, also for me, having experienced the death of a friend last year, it became triggering for me sometimes to experience people reacting to laughter that way. And I couldn't understand it. We're putting coffins. I just went and saw somebody in a coffin, So are you saying that you want that in your world? No, but you're saying it. So again, we want to pay attention to the things that we're saying and what we are truly calling into our world. So how are we going to do this? And let me put a pause right there and say, it's not to say that we are bad people because we say some of these things. It's not to say that we're negative or we could be calling people out and things like that. But we want to pay attention because we want to grow, because we want to be stronger, because we want to call more joy and more love and more powerful experiences into our world. And so the only way that we can do that is by paying attention to the things that are ingrained in us and how have we been programmed. And now we're going to unprogram and we're going to relearn some new things. So 3 things that I want you to do. You got homework. I'm a therapist, so I give homework. And homework is the only way that we really begin to do things. Not when somebody just tells us about something and we say, oh yeah, that's good, I'm gonna do that. And then we don't do it because we ain't do no homework. So side note, if you go to church and they tell you your scriptures, you got to read them during the week or you just ain't gonna remember. You just go on about your world. So first thing I want you to do, you're going to pay attention to some of the things that you're saying. And I'd like for you to journal about that. I'd like for you to just kind of write them down. You don't necessarily have to do it in your journal. If you have the notes function on your phone, I am assuming that everybody who's watching this video has a smartphone. So you can just jot it down in your notes on your phone. Just some of the things that you've been saying, some of the phrases, some of the words as they pop up, and just kind of writing it down. And I don't know, maybe you might want to tally up, how many times a week you find yourself saying something. If you don't want to tally it, that's fine. If you just want to write down, what are some of those things, and journal about that. And then think about what experience you want to have connected to some of those phrases that you're saying. So for me, they make me sick. Well, 1, I don't want people, I'm going to journal and say, I don't want people in my life who make me feel sick. And 2, I don't want to feel sick. I don't want to be sick. So I don't want to say that. And I don't want to, this is not the experience that I want to have. Okay. The next thing that you want to do is you want to find your replacement. So what is the replacement phrase that you're going to use instead? What is the replacement word that you're going to use instead? So, maybe I'm going to choose the clown emoji instead of the coughing emoji, right? If something is funny. And I don't do the cough. I don't do any of that. But for people who might do that, maybe you might want to do that. Something small, right? You think that it's simple, but it carries a lot of energy. It carries a lot of weight, okay? They make me sick. I'm going to not even say that. I'm going to say, wow, you know what? Those people must be going through something. I'm going to send them some compassion. And then I'm going to remind myself that I am healthy and I am whole and I am powerful. That is the world that I want to experience. That's the life that I want to experience. So after you find your replacement and you start, integrating that into your life, you also want to seek accountability. And so the 2 things that I always say that are so important is 1, journaling, because self-reflection is key. The other thing is accountability, because we cannot make changes in our lives without other people holding us accountable and supporting us through those changes. So find people who you can just say, hey, if you ever hear me say X, just remind me to replace that with Y. And this is with anything, any kind of change that you want to make in your life of certain things that you might be saying, I'm not going to make it. Remind, oh, I can't do it. No, when you hear me say something like that, this is what I want you to remind me that I'm supposed to be saying. Because I'm human and I'm not going to always get it right. But I need people to remind me. So find those people, people that you can trust, people that are going to do it for you. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope that you all really do work on this, really begin to see some changes in your life. You just never know what you might be opening up for yourself by releasing some of these negative ways of speaking and negative ways of thinking that just they're just ingrained, and it's not necessarily a bad thing, but when we want to call more joy and more love and more peace and more health into our world, we got to start talking like that in every way, even when we're joking. So yeah, I hope that you go along with this challenge for the rest of the month. I hope that you make some progress in this area. And share with us, share any progress that you have made. Share with us some changes that you might be making and the things that you're saying. The other thing, Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for supporting We Are Here to Love and sticking with me. And to the new followers, welcome. It's so good to have you here. I know, like I said in the New Year's Eve video on Instagram, that I hadn't gotten to share with you as much as I wanted to in 2017 just because of a lot of personal things that I was experiencing. But I am back and I'm looking forward to all of the things that we're going to do together, all of the ways that we're going to grow together this year. So I look forward to hearing from you in the comments. You can also always reach out to me. You can always send me a message. If there's any questions that you have or any support that you need, just let someone know. All right. I love you guys. I know that you're drinking enough water. That is key. And that you are doing all of those things that are going to create a more positive and joyful world for you. So I look forward to hearing from you and have a great rest of the month. Bye.